Hello folks, and welcome to our Avengers Infinity War review. Now, right off the bat, we're gonna have to warn you, this is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? Get off this and go watch the movie.
You need to go watch it.
Right.
Like I said, this contains a lot of spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything, you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this video because this is gonna contain a lot of spoilers. In-depth review we're going to be doing as well. We're going to be talking about a lot of things.
And if you have seen it, after this review, go watch it again because there are records that need to be beaten. So by all means, we've seen it more than once. We hope you're going to watch it more than once because we need to get a couple of movies off the top, right?
Yeah.
Movies like Avatar.
Yeah, we need to get Avatar.
Don't deserve to be at the top of the ladder.
I was saying before we get into the review, if you're new to the channel, if you're a new viewer, please go ahead and subscribe. The subscribe button is either there or there. Just hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, leave comments. The comments can be good or negative. As I said before, this is a discussion forum, so all comments are very much welcome.
That's right. So it's a Wednesday today. We're in Birmingham, England, UK. And the movie was released for us on a Friday.
Thursday.
That was a mistake.
Sorry, that's right. On a Thursday last week. So we were one day ahead of our American counterparts, which gave us a chance to, I guess, review the weekend box office take-ins, which we will talk about because records have been broken.
Yes, they have. Should we get straight into this?
Let's do it.
All right, listen. This is the biggest 4-day weekend. Like, it smashed the 4-day weekend. Actually, let's talk about pre-ticket sales before.
Right.
Let's talk about pre-ticket sales. What held the record was Justice League held that record, and then Black Panther came.
It was Batman vs Superman.
Sorry,
if I'm correct.
That's right. Right. Dawn of Justice. My bad.
That's right.
And Black Panther came and blew that completely out of the water. Now, Marvel's Avengers Infinity War, they absolutely smashed all of the last.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The record not only was broken, but all the previous Marvel movies combined, it sold in pre-ticket sales more than all the 10 last movies combined.
That's
which
crazy.
Is absolutely crazy.
Which is crazy. So you know the numbers is going to be out of this world. Now the movie, which is I'm a very big fan of, The Force Awakens, they hold the record for the biggest haul of a 4-day weekend, which is at 248 million. Now, by my records,
now that is a 3-day weekend for Morris. So that's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday we're talking about. So including the Thursday preview.
Yeah, so we'll give the Thursday just to be fair. So over those 4 days, it had 248 million. Now I checked Fox News this morning, and they said that the record for Infinity War was 250 million.
Woo!
You know,
God.
250.
Update. There is an update to that. News just in.
You got it? It just came in. News just in. What have you got? What have you got?
So, it was stated that Force Awakens held the title at 248 million. This is the Thursday, previous Friday, Saturday, and Sunday record. $248 million. It was initially reported that Avengers broke that by 2 million, so it was sitting at 250 million. But the official take-ins for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, including the Thursday preview, is now at 260 million.
Wow.
Dollars.
Wow.
And that record isn't going anywhere. Anytime soon.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is absolutely
that. So that makes that basically that's the biggest day on a Friday release.
That's right.
The biggest day on a Saturday release. The biggest on a Sunday release.
Biggest on a Sunday.
So he broke all the 3 days, including the 4 day, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So he's got the record for all 4 days.
There's also of course there's going to be a record for the biggest Monday as well. Now that is currently held by Black Panther. However, that Monday was a holiday Monday. It was I'm not familiar with the American
it's
holidays.
Labor Day.
It was a Labor Day. It was a holiday Monday, which is why it scored an enormous 60 million for a Monday. That's a Saturday and a Sunday, maybe even a Friday figure for most big movies.
It was. Black Panther was a big movie.
Monday. So a non-holiday Monday, the Avengers Infinity War is currently sitting at $24 million, which is absolutely crazy given people are at work here and there. And it
is for Monday.
Still scored 25, and I think that's a record. Double check that, but it is. If not, it is up there with one of the highest Mondays.
I would say so. I mean, should we talk about worldwide? Then?
Oh, worldwide.
Let's talk about worldwide.
The record for the worldwide total 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, was held by Fast and Furious 8, I think it was.
Yeah.
So that was at 540 million.
No, I think it was Fast 7.
Sorry, Fast 7. That's right. For $540 million worldwide weekend opening. An absolutely crazy number, without a doubt, helped by the China takings, which alone amounted to 190 million. China alone, the second biggest market in the world now.
Yeah, they
are. So that was 540-ish million. So Avengers comes along, and how much did it make? 640. Now,
wow,
it's impressive. I mean, it's not just a small margin above the takings of Fast and Furious. 100 million more. What's more impressive is that 100 million is without China.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to touch on, because China, for some reason, I don't know why, they tend to do this a lot. They tend to release their movies either like a month or like a couple of weeks later than the rest of the world, and then everybody always wait for the Chinese market their influx to see what type of money and how well the film will do worldwide with the China takings, because it's a really, really massive market, like you touched on.
Now, I'm sure that they had some sort of strategy not to release it in China, or maybe a business decision that was made, but I can't help but feel it's an opportunity lost. Now, China's expected income for Infinity War sums up to around $200 million for the opening weekend. Now you add that 200 million to the worldwide total, we're looking at $850 million for the opening weekend. That's near enough $1 billion just on the opening weekend.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How much do you think it will open in China?
Oh, so if you look at Age of Ultron's figures, which stood at 150 million.
Yeah, 150, 155 million.
That's in China alone we're talking about. So given the jump from Age of Ultron domestic release, which was around 190, to Infinity War, which is 260, I guess we can put it in the ballpark figure of around $210 million for China's.
I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna go brave. I'm gonna be brave. I think that Infinity War will open up in China. I think it will do and push the 215 to 220.
You know what? It would not surprise me.
I would say that. I would say 215 to 220.
Surprise me at all, given the hype, given the reviews, given just everything that's going for this movie right now.
Absolutely. Should we actually delve into this movie?
Let's do it.
All right. Wow. Before you start, you've seen this movie. What surprised you, and what did you expect to happen in this movie?
You know, a lot of people have talked about the ending. Now, we're going to jump to the ending because it's a big talk of this movie. It ends on a cliffhanger. I did not expect it to end on a cliffhanger, simply because of what was said and how these movies were going to be self-contained, their own movies.
Yeah.
Initially, it was said to be a two-parter, Avengers 1 and 2. Then it was said that these movies are going to be on their own, complete movies on their own. I don't feel that was the case. I reckon that ending was a cliffhanger. To an extent, it is a complete movie, but at the same time, it's a cliffhanger. We know it's going to continue. There's no way any movie would end on that note, where the bad guy just destroys half of everything and wakes up on his island.
It's like he's having a vacation or something.
Story. Yeah, it's a cliffhanger. That's definitely a cliffhanger ending. So that surprised me a little, but at the same time, I knew, like yourself, the origin of Infinity War and what was going to happen, and a lot of fans also knew. So I wasn't shocked at the ending. Yeah,
people were saying to me, of course, like they were upset, they were sad, and thinking to like how many of these characters have been killed. Now, I don't think these characters are dead, because I've read the comics, and you know, like yourself, we know about the comics. So these characters are obviously, they're not dead. proof being like Black Panther 2 has been confirmed. You know, when your movie makes $1 billion plus dollars at the box office, then you ain't gonna kill your character. Plus Black Panther 2 is confirmed. Star-Lord is not dead because there's a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie which is going to be shooting soon.
That's right, I think that was in his contract.
Exactly. Tom Holland, he leaked it, because he never keeps secrets. He doesn't have to keep a secret. There's Spider-Man 2 and 3 confirmed. So these characters, they're not dead. You know, as you know, I don't know how they're gonna do it in this MCU universe, because in the comics they do things a little different. So they might bring them back in a different manner. I can tell you who is dead for 100%. All the characters that died pre Thanos' snap of his gauntlet.
Yeah.
So Heimdall,
he's
Idris Elba's character, he's dead. Loki, Tom Hiddleston's character.
Unfortunately, Loki's not.
Yeah, I think he's dead because all these guys died before Thanos snapped his finger.
That's right.
Gamora, I don't know if Gamora is dead because I think her soul might be still inside the Soul Stone,
because it wasn't an on-screen death. I mean,
you did see her body on the floor, and the camera goes into a POV.
That's right, yeah.
And
but
so,
at the same time, it's in that ambiguity of the Soul Stone where anything could happen.
Exactly.
It's a weird place.
And of course, you did see after Thanos snaps his finger, he went into this world where he just him and baby Gamora were talking. So I think that she might be still alive. Is there a way to bring her back? I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure, but you know, those characters, you can be rest assured that, you know, they're still alive. They're dead right now, but they'll still be alive, and all of them will be in Avengers 4.
And interesting fact, in Thor 2, when Loki died, and it was revealed at the end credits that it was indeed a trick.
I'll tell Father what you did here today.
That was written as an actual death, as a final death.
Yeah.
But the fans were disappointed. The fans were asking
and they wanted them to bring him back.
So they made it in the reshoots appear as though it was a trick, and he appeared at the end on Odin's throne. So, you know, any character death, most characters' death can be reverted if they really want to. If they're a fan favorite, we expect them to return. Gamora, for me, it's a grey area. There's no certainty around her death, and I think there's a lot of story left for her as well at this point, so I don't think they'll kill her off anytime soon.
And then just moving forward, for me, what I liked the most about the movie was the battle scene in Wakanda, and second behind was the battle on Titan. Thanos' home planet. Now, for me, I thought Wakanda would have played a lot more. There would be a lot more of it in the movie, because the way of all the trailers, they got like the most of it, like they got like origins of Wakanda in it. So I thought that there was going to be a massive influx of scenes where Wakanda would be featured, but it wasn't. It was actually quite balanced. But I understand why they did that in the trailers, because Black Panther is still at this moment in the cinemas. Now, on the weekend, Black Panther was 8th in the cinemas, and after Avengers Infinity War came out, Black Panther shot up to into 5th place in the whole list. And so I'm thinking, like, people are still seeing Black Panther, so I understand why they would use a lot of Black Panther images and stuff just to sell,
capitalize on his popularity.
Absolutely.
In the trailer, but then a number of other things were also in the trailer. For example, Hulk on Wakanda with Captain America, Black Panther, and they're running towards what we know now are the enemies who were bombarding the shield of Wakanda. I guess it was a distraction from what it's. So I guess they wanted room for surprises. Talking about Hulk, he's a topic of discussion within this movie. Because simply we just see.
Are we going straight into characters?
The first 5 minutes.
All right, let's go.
Of Hulk, and then he's gone. We'll get Bruce Banner for the remainder. And I'm not sure how you feel about Bruce Banner over the Hulk, or vice versa.
Well,
do you have a preference?
I thought I do have a preference. For me, I prefer to see the Hulk, but Bruce Banner did handle himself because he went into the Hulkbuster.
That's right.
AKA Shelly. That's what I am, as Tony Stark calls her. But no, I mean, the fact that Thanos dismantled the Hulk, I think that was the reason why the Hulk didn't want to make another appearance, because this is the Hulk. It doesn't really get manhandled or mistreated like the way Thanos did him. Like it did beat the crap out of him. You know, and he refused to come out. He actually told Bruce Banner, no, he's not coming out. You know, so that was kind of good the way they played with that. You know,
I mean, I would not have thought Hulk's thought process goes as far as fear. You know, I
didn't think the Hulk can feel fear.
Registers in his brain. He is just relentless, fearless, and he doesn't die. He's immortal.
And Thanos scared the fear out of Hulk.
Yeah, I guess
crazy.
It was a way to establish the character right from the onset.
Yeah, to let them know just to assert Thanos and let them know like this is Thanos and he will do stuff to you.
Yeah, Thanos has landed, and indeed he did land, especially with the Hulk and Heimdall, and the way in which he manhandled Thor.
Yeah, had it by his head, didn't he?
Oh yeah, and of course Loki dismantled dismantled the entire Asgardian ship. I mean, are there Asgardians left?
I know they killed the whole entire race.
So
hopefully,
I suppose it's just.
But hey, listen, my point is this: they showed a few people that was important from the last Thor Ragnarok movie, and the fact that Valkyrie did not make an appearance in Infinity War. Where is she? Did she get a separate escape pod with a couple of Asgardians, try to lead them away from Thanos? I don't know.
It's possible she's gone on her own path, which she was on initially
she was, but she did hop on. So that's my point. Most of the people, if you looked at the scenes of the ground, most of the people, the Asgardians that are dead, all wearing armor. So it could have been that the soldiers stayed back to fight while Valkyrie. So that's just a theory I'm working with. I'm not entirely sure. That's just one of mine. Leave comments if you know as you go, just to let me know what you think about that theory also.
I mean, quickly finishing up on Hulk's character, Bruce Banner is what we got for the remainder of the movie post the first 5 minutes. Now, how they handled Bruce is a smart guy. You know, on par or near enough. Tony Stark is an intelligent man, but the way in which they depicted Bruce Banner in this movie was more comic relief. The scene in Wakanda where he asks, "Should we bow?" and yes, bow. And what are you doing? That kind of is more of a Star-Lord character who'd fall for that kind of stuff. Yeah. And throughout the movie, how Bruce Banner is just a weakling, unintelligent. I think that is a different depiction of Bruce Banner to what or at least what I'm used to.
To what we're accustomed to, because Bruce Banner, even the character as well, he's always angry. Yeah. You remember? Yeah. And is full of jokes in this one.
So it's interesting where they're looking to take the Hulk, and it is for Hulk. It's a three-arc movie. So it started with Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War. The sequel to the Infinity War will be a side story. This is a side story for Hulk. It was reported that they can't make a Hulk movie because of some licensing issues, but they can include him in other movies. So so this is a way for him to have his own story within the featured movies.
Just to say that we can move on now to go talk about the characters. I'll give you first pick. Let's let you pick your superhero, and we can dive straight into the characters.
Okay, I'm going to start with Iron Man. Iron Man was, of course, always a forefront character of these movies.
The Godfather, he
started the whole thing. Again, without Iron Man, it would be a completely different Avengers, a completely different, perhaps, superhero universe without Iron Man. And you could say Iron Man is responsible for DC if you want to go that far as well, given the success he's had in these movies. But Iron Man in this movie, I think he's, in terms of tech, it's leaps and bounds. I mean, he exhibited the nanotech suit, bleeding edge armor,
which I thought had some tiny undercurrent from Black Panther's suit from Wakanda, because the new suit that Shuri designed for Black Panther kind of looks the same when they change into it. Yeah. Now you don't see that, like that stuff going on to Tony and all. Now it's just like bleeds onto him. It looks pretty good.
I mean, I thought she might have had some involvement.
I thought she did. Yeah, you're right.
In the tech, but at the same time, when you think about it and you understand the character that Tony Stark is, there's no way he'll allow someone else to support or even help him build his genius.
Especially a little girl.
That wasn't going to happen, I suppose. But the suit itself, it's made him, in terms of power, it reminds me of T-1000 from Terminator.
Okay.
Unstoppable. Something happens, it'll rebuild. Anything it's not, it'll rebuild.
Yeah, because at one point Thanos punched his helmet off.
That's right.
And it just came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's really powerful in this movie. Really powerful.
I agree.
And he was so confident in his power. He went towards the end. He went one-on-one with Thanos, and made it appear as though Thanos is under threat from him rather than the other way around, despite him having the
and a lot of that happened in this movie, and we'll touch on that after we talk about the characters. A lot of stuff that appears unrealistic in a movie. I'm not talking about real, there's a few things that happen that we don't think, like for instance, I'll give you a quick example before we go back to the characters, like Peter Quill, Star-Lord, grabbing hold of Spider-Man, that would never happen.
I mean, I know people will say it's a movie, of course it's not realistic.
But we've got to keep it realistic for the movie.
That's right, we're not talking about real world realistic, we're talking about movie, so superhero movie realistic. This particular case, there is no way a human, half human, but still his strength, his attributes are still 100% human. There's no way he is going to be able to hold Spider-Man.
I'm going to ask you this one time. Where is Kamal?
I mean, I can't hold you in a headlock. Yeah. I mean, there's no way he's going to hold Spider-Man, who's the power.
He's got superhuman strength, by the way.
So that for me, was little things which we will touch upon.
We'll touch on that.
Okay, so let's move on to your character.
My character is going to be my superhero. Why do we keep saying characters? Superhero.
Superhero.
My superhero is going to be Captain America.
Okay.
Because we had a bet. We had a side bet. You thought Iron Man was going to die.
Yeah.
I thought Captain America was going to die. None of them died.
And it's interesting how the ones who remained were the
original OG of the Avengers. Yeah. For some reason, they're the ones that stayed alive. But no, my pick is going to be Captain America. The way he turned up when Vision and Scarlet Witch was under attack from Midnight Proxima and
the Dark Order.
The Dark Order. They come together, man. The train just goes past and up comes. When he made that appearance, she throws the shield and just catches it.
Oh my
the
God,
music's changed, and I'm thinking,
cool.
Here we go. The way this came on scene, it was good. And then Falcon, because that's his side.
Yeah.
That's his side dude. And then
Scarlet in there. We had
Scarlet came in. The Black Widow came in, and there was look. For me, Captain America has done his thing. The only thing I was disappointed about, he was in Wakanda. I can't believe they gave him that shield.
Yeah.
I thought that he should have got something a lot better.
And he's just that shield.
Yeah.
Captain America.
It did what he had to do with it.
I mean, he needs to be able to throw something for it to bounce
exactly.
back. But
it was good. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I thought there should have been a lot more of Captain America in this movie.
That's what I thought. Cap, for me,
I thought he didn't get enough. Yeah,
he's been good. He's been one of the standout characters for me.
Yeah, I didn't think he done just. He did not had enough. But what I would say is the way he catches that hand from Thanos and holding it off, and then Thanos punched him. I thought his whole face was going to come off when he punched him.
I thought there would be more to it than that. Because they showed it in the trailer.
I thought it was a big deal, but it was nothing.
They were teasing something.
Yeah.
Maybe Cap had a stone. Maybe he had the Power Stone, and he was able to hold his hand.
That's one of the theories. Actually, people were saying that.
Theory, yeah. But I guess that's what the trailers are for, to tease.
Yeah,
and surprise.
Like it is a teaser, So no, I was really. I thought Captain America was really good, and when he's around, you have that like everything is fine when Cap's there. Don't forget he's the captain. He's the captain of the Avengers.
That's right.
He is in charge of the Avengers.
I mean, he has definitely impressed with every movie. With the exception of, it's not an exception, I guess, the original Avengers and that silly outfit that they made him wear. Looking back at that suit, it's just
what is crazy.
Some pajamas or something like that. But apart from that, he's been consistent.
All right, what else you got? Your next pick.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man for me has improved. This version of Spider-Man for me is now well, he's had 2 movies, but this is, well, 3. He's been included in Civil War, his own movie. And for me, this is his most impressive standout outing for me. And the Iron Spider suit was a big sell for me as well.
Yeah, I think that was
it was as impressive as the Bleeding Edge armor.
Just to go back on the fact that we was talking about when Star-Lord was restraining him in the first appearance when he came to help Tony Stark, the big alien was gonna punch. And he just put his hand there and just stopped him. So that's why I'm saying that Star-Lord. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That Star-Lord wouldn't have been able to hold him. He could have just just pulled him off and just threw him away.
What is that? Okay, Drax as well. Drax is on the floor, but so Star-Lord has held Spider-Man. Iron Man has a gun or his beams pointing towards Drax. Now there's a question of whether Drax can take it. Now Drax, as depicted in this movie, I'm not sure how close it is to the comics, but in the comics he's a very powerful and tough being.
Yeah, Drax in the comics is nothing like Drax in the movies.
Yeah.
Drax in the comics is a killer.
It seems he's pure comic relief for this movie.
I think so, because he says stupid stuff, which makes the movie funny.
Yeah, but
which makes the movie
the fact that he was. He had a lot of screen time with the other members, and his interactions with Strange in particular, with Iron Man is always fantastic.
His mentor, Iron Man.
That's the best thing about this movie. The interactions from characters we haven't met before, and especially given the age difference, and it's a lot. It's just.
I agree.
Yeah,
Strange, he was good. He was really, really good in this movie.
Not just Strange.
When he found out there was. When he had to do his little thing and he found 14 million and something other possibilities and he found one, that's that we can speculate, but I'm thinking that Tony had to stay alive, so that's why he gave Thanos the stone, and Thanos could have snapped his fingers right there and then, but he didn't. But he couldn't, because he had to go to get the last stone from Vision.
He wasn't the all-powerful
He's not as powerful. He had to get that stone out of Vision.
But that being said, at that point, throughout that fight, he was 1 stone away from being all-powerful.
Yeah.
So he could have just really sat back and used the Reality Stone in the same way he used the Reality Stone on Drax and the Guardians, where he just made him appear like springs or blocks. Where he could have just sat back and used the stone, but for some reason he fought him hand to hand. So it didn't make the Infinity Stones seem that powerful within that fight, or maybe it's just Thanos wanted to prove something to himself or wanted to take him on hand-to-hand combat. But for me, he didn't use the stones as much as he should have.
For me now, the superhero that stood out the most throughout this whole entire movie, for me personally, I would give it to Thor, and Thor is my favorite Marvel character. For me, I think Thor was the standout character. The way he went through the journey to get his new hammer, axe, the Stormbreaker, and Groot helped him to form it. Because I forgot, Hondo was dead, but I forgot that when he's got this new axe, his power, he can command the Bifrost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it was mentioned when the giant dwarfs. They said in theory it could command the Bifrost, and we saw at the end he appeared out of nowhere in Wakanda, so clearly he can command the Bifrost. He did,
and the way that entrance is probably the best entrance I've ever seen.
One of the
the Avengers was getting their ass kicked, and M'Baku was fighting, Okoye, Scarlet Witch joined the fun, Captain America, Black Panther, they're all getting their ass kicked, bro. And
then
Thor just came and he just
the clouds, the heavens opened, the lightning strikes.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. And the only person who stood a chance of actually killing, I'm gonna call him Ultimate Thanos. The person who stood a chance of killing Ultimate Thanos was Thor.
That's right.
Because when that axe hit him, and he was pushing it into his chest, and it was that close, I don't think nothing else was gonna happen. No. And then Thanos looked up and just goes. And he just clicked his fingers and everything just went. And he did say actually you should have went for the head.
Should have gone for
but
the
he went
head,
for the chest cavity.
Thor's entrance, now it reminds me of something what's his name, Snyder said about the Return of Superman. This Return of Thor is what I hoped the Return of Superman would be like, but instead we got something really lackluster, really lame, really. God knows what they're doing with that movie, but that's for another.
Oh, you're talking about that old Superman movie, and this crazy.
The Return of Superman in Justice League when he appears behind Steppenwolf, and he's more of a greeting, hello, and then that kind of stuff.
But that's Superman, though. He's always going to be polite.
No,
Who's so polite before they punch you in the face? You know?
Exactly. That's what we love about Superman. But at the same time, we expected something similar to Thor. You know, the clouds opening, him coming at full speed, anger, whatever.
It wasn't like a glorious entrance.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thor came, the clouds went funny, lightning strike, and he just slammed down, and Groot and Rocket
and a chance to showcase his new power. Yeah, a real chance to show, and he took out pretty much half the army, took out the ships.
And he went and killed
in and out, just like it was nothing.
It was good. It was good.
It was incredible.
I appreciate it, man. Look, for me personally, we got to touch on Thanos now, because much was said about Steppenwolf. Now, Steppenwolf was the villain in Justice League, and a lot of people slated Steppenwolf, saying his CGI didn't look too. As a DC fan, I think Thanos' character, his CGI, everything looked way better than Steppenwolf. What's your opinion?
Well, yeah, I think they had more. Well, I would say time is. Justice League was in development for a long, long time.
They should have stayed in development. I think Justice.
Exactly. They should have stayed
my
in
point is
development.
this with Justice League: they should have stayed in development. As a DC fan, I would tell you this right now. Somebody at Warner Brothers. Side note: somebody at Warner Brothers needs to be fired.